Greetings. Let's see what's happening here. Do I have sound? Yes, I do have sound. Hello. Hi guys. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I hope you're well, guys. Let me know if you can hear me. Wave at me. Hi. Hello. Where are you at? Are you still on holiday? Are you back at work? What's happening? Are you miserable? Are you happy? Well, the world is a very strange place right now, so it's okay to have a little bit of not misery, but questioning. Yes, it's a pleasant surprise, isn't it? Yeah. So I don't like to do things out of obligation. I think you know by now. And this is probably one of the most requested things that I do. These cooking sessions, and you ask me questions, I cook, show you what I'm doing. It was fun for a very long time, but for me, everything has a runway. When I get to a point, I'm like, okay, I don't want to do that anymore, then I don't. Yeah, but then I felt like doing it today. And it's more fun that way, okay? When I do it because I feel like doing it, not because I have to do it. Now I understand people like, mentorship. Guys, I'm always doing mentorship. You go to vastlySage.com. I literally am always doing mentorship. It's just in a different format. It's hot, but I'm also hot, okay? I'm a middle-aged woman. So tell me how you've been. Somebody said they're back at work and covering books for school. Ne? You? Yeah. It's okay. You get it done. Yeah, so anyway, guys, I'm happy to pop in. So let's see how long we're gonna make this. I'm cooking, so as per usual, if you have a question, it's a draw. Yeah, no, I'm hot, it's hot. I agree, it's a draw. Yeah, so just put your question in the comment box, in the question box, as per usual, if you want me to answer any questions. But what am I making today? Lamb. I love lamb, but I'm making lamb curry. You could argue it's so hot, Amanda, why are you making lamb curry? Well, my children are leaving, the twins are leaving next week, so I'm making meals that are homely and they're gonna miss. so Nina, you can stick to your salads, nama quinoa, nama couscous. Sure. You are getting into church and you are on a live session with me. Lord. Okay, let's just move on. So yeah, I'm making a lamb, but I'm making a lamb curry, but with my twist. So the way I make it. I've put a lot of recipes in my latest book, Stable but Turbulent. So you'd expect that I should cook something from there, but I'm like, that's so obvious. So why don't we just cook what I want to cook and cook what my children are going to enjoy. So yeah, I've got some lamb there, but underneath these pieces are also these nice big lamb chops. So I like to use lamb chops for even stewing, stews and curries and things, because I like to. Busi, if you have a question, put it in the comment box, darling, then I can answer. You're saying you have struggled keeping your flowers alive. I think that's first and foremost the problem. You're calling them flowers. Okay. Onions. Let's chop up some onions, but let me first heat up my pot. So now I use these because my stove is old. My hob is, we've been in this house for 17 years. My stove is old, but I'm one of those, I just refuse to buy a new stove. It still works. The pilot might not work, but it works. We are lighter. So yes, let me get, just getting my pot there heated up. In the meanwhile, chop up some onions. So yeah, so the first problem is you need to know what you're dealing with. Flowers do die. Flowers are only really meant to last like a week if you're lucky. Well, actually standard week. Unless the quality is not great, then they don't last. But plants, on the other hand, now that's something I can help you with. And first and foremost, you should get my book, Stable But Turbulent, from amandadambuza.com. I wasn't here to sell anything, but if you're going to ask me questions about something I've already written in the whole book, then I have to tell you where to get it, okay? So, what has changed since the last time we hung out together? Well, I'm now knee-deep in perimenopause. But I've figured a way to, you know, live with it. And I'm working on something that I can bring to those who are struggling, because it's a very interesting transition. It actually is a war. it's a war. And then they're like, oh, suck it up. Really? Going through what I've been through this last 2 or 3 years, I can assure you, if this was happening to our brothers and husbands, the world would be a very different place. But again, we're not getting political. What I mean is, I'm going through some transitions. I've been through some transitions, but as far as perimenopause is concerned, I've been able to bed that down. And now I've been working on something that I can do to help other women. But most importantly for me, the first question is always, I mean, for a couple of years, I could pull out of my business and just go live under a rock and literally just deal with myself. So that's also the reason why I kind of disappeared from doing these things, is because I just needed to focus on just working on myself and my needs and what I was going through. So yeah, I just spent a lot of time in the countryside in Mpumalanga, sending lots of prayers. The floods are just no joke over there. But what I did was just pull back from work, and because I was like, I don't know what's going on with me. Zero motivation, zero enthusiasm, and just like a general lack of interest in life. Yeah. And I decided, you know what, let me just pull back. But I have the privilege to be able to do that. My business, my primary business is 13 years old now. So I've built enough systems, strong team to be able to just pull back, and it carries on. But imagine people who are in corporate jobs. So these are the questions I started asking myself. I'm like, if you're in a corporate job or you work for somebody and you have to be going to work day in, day out, doesn't matter how you feel, how have women over centuries been able to do this? And yeah, I'm like, no, something is not right. Yeah. And it also starts to put a lot of things into perspective. When I was a corporate exec, and you know, some of the biggest bullies were middle-aged women. And I think now that I'm on the other side of that equation, I can now understand what was going on with them. It does not excuse bad behavior, absolutely not. But what I'm saying is something needs to give that can allow women to start to have these conversations. Now, I'm not in a corporate on a daily basis. I don't work like that. But I don't know if these conversations are being had. I don't know if a middle-aged woman or elderly woman walks in and says, oh guys, today I am having the worst hot flushes, or oh my gosh, my PMS is just through the roof. I don't understand what's going on. Please stand in for me in this meeting because, oh, I don't know, I'm dealing with a flood here or something. I don't know, you know, these are things that I think should be common conversations. So yeah, if this is something that's happening, let me know. Okay, my heart is hot now. So I use Terposible olive oils. So they come in different, there's like this pack that they have. It's 3 different kinds of olive oils. So you could argue that when you're frying food, you shouldn't be using olive oil. True. And I'm gonna fry onions now, but I like to cook, so they've got different ones. This one, in this beautiful, look at that packaging. I love packaging, guys. By the way, they didn't ask me to do this. I'm just plugging you, okay? And this one, yeah, that's true. You end up being misdiagnosed because you have to rush to get better. Yeah, I agree with that. So this, wait guys, wait, don't laugh, okay? I need to put on my glasses. Because now I can't read the thing. Okay, this one is it's for sauteing, cooking, and baking. Okay, it's this one. And then you have this one, which is for grilled meats, fish, and roast vegetables. It's the green one. And then this one is it just adds distinct flavor to any dish. I find it's got quite a nice deep smell. Deep aroma. English is still on the bench. So I'm gonna use this one. I am going to saute my onions. So yeah, that's one of the things that I was like, how on earth do corporate women do this? And then you still have to go home and have a job. You have a job, then you have to go home. You go home to your family, your husband, your kids, your responsibilities, and you're supposed to be like this sane person that holds everything together. Guys, how did we get here? Now, okay, fine, we've done it, it's been done. In fact, on Vastly Sage, on the left-hand side of their website, there's something called Ask Amanda. When I did ask you guys to send mentorship questions, that's where I've responded to all those questions. But one of the articles that I write on the website is why women, you know, must embrace being matriarchs and why we need matriarchy energy in our homes. But, yeah man, this thing comes at a price, right? Yeah. It comes at a serious price, but you gotta know what you're doing. So anyway, I am, sorry. I'm angry, but not that angry, okay? So the other thing that I asked myself, oh yeah, corporate toxic culture, I also write about that, in fact, on Vastly Sage. I've written many articles because I wake up at 4. Like, okay, I go to bed at 8. I wake up at 4. And I'm always creating. Like, literally, that's all I do. Every single day in the morning. From 4 to about, sometimes I'm up at 3:30 or, you know, typical stuff. Typical perimenopausal woman. Then, I mean, I don't wake up and just sit and stay into space. I'm either looking at my plants, caring for them, or I create, I write. And I've written a lot. So all these people that ask me for mentorship, guys, don't irritate me. That's also what has changed since I was online. I'm not as sweet as I used to be. So, okay, I'm letting my onions saute. I like, where's the spice now? Okay. Just gonna show you the spices I'm gonna use for my lamb curry. It's a lot of them, so hang tight. Some I don't know what they do, but I know I like them. There we go. Okay. So, um, so how do corporate women do this? But the other thing that I asked myself is, you know, there has to be a way. And I know there's a big movement now where at least there's more conversations taking place around about, you know, around perimenopause and just menopause as a whole. But I just don't know how people do this thing when they can't pull back from it, when they can't pull back from their lives. So I haven't really found respect for that. But the other side of it is I have been spending an enormous amount of money on supplements because through my own research, which has been quite extensive over the years, I have, and remember I'm turning 48 in a few weeks' time, and I started feeling these things when I was about 44, 45. So, but I didn't know what was wrong with me, but something was fundamentally wrong with me. I wanted out of life. It's like, what the hell is wrong with me? How do I go from this vivacious soul to this, literally, I have zero energy to live, you know? And this is not something that is uncommon. A lot of women go through this, and unfortunately, because historically there hasn't been space to be able to express how you feel, and women often being labeled as ungrateful when they express their emotions. In fact, I put this in Stable but Turbulent to say, we're not very kind to people who are seemingly successful. We're not kind to women when they say, you know, I'm not interested or I'm suffering. It's what have you got to complain about? As if putting food on the table is the only thing that matters in life. We all, if you understand Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we're all at different levels in life. But because you've reached the peak of the hierarchy does not mean you don't have issues, problems, or challenges to deal with yourself. So just a little more understanding and kindness towards people. The other thing was I spent an enormous amount of money on supplements. Give or take $5,000 a month. Because, well, my husband also takes part in the supplements. Because we think menopause only affects women. Ha ha ha. Joke is on you. Okay. So, the ordinary person cannot afford that. And I've only been able to get a handle on my perimenopausal symptoms through supplements. In fact, through adding supplements and other things to my daily life. But this is very expensive, even for me, a person who can afford to buy it. But it is expensive, and it then got me thinking, what about the people who don't have the means? That, like, what are they supposed to do? Like, it just does not make sense to me at all, actually, that we have such a fundamental issue. South Africa, particularly, and I think in the globally, women are in the majority. Women are in the majority, and we are in a situation where we don't have support for women who are going through a fundamental transition, a biological, believe me, if many of us had an option, we would opt out of perimenopause. We'd be like, right, give it to other people, like men. But we don't have that option. So how do we live in a world where we're continuously creating this inequality, even through access to things like support for the transition that you're going through? If you look at the cost of supplements, and unfortunately supplements is not something you'll take once, it's every single day. It becomes part of your grocery list. My onions are good now, so I'm gonna add some garlic. So I have been a little bothered by that. I don't want to lie. Well, little is an understatement. A lot. I'm like, this can't be right. Now, every time I am going to buy, and remember, I also have my housekeeper. She's also in the same transition. She's she's about 3 years younger than me, but she's going through it. And I buy for her as well, because I mean, she's been with us for almost 15 years. It's my duty to make sure that she's well. You know, I'm not going to turn a blind eye and say, that's not my problem. I pay her well, she must take care of herself. No. It's expensive. So I'm working on something. You know, I'm always cooking something. Okay, maybe let me cook. But that's what I've been. So when I'm silent or off these streets, first of all, it's not because I mean I come on here because I want to and I have something to say, but I like to be silent too. I like to focus on the things that actually matter, that will move the dial. Now I know this matters, you know, it matters a great deal, but sometimes I just want to be silent. I want silence. Even when I go to the countryside, I don't want people around. I don't want housekeeper around. I don't want big guys. I don't want any of this, our people around, because I just want to be alone, like, and think and hear God speak, because you cannot hear God speak if you're constantly bombarded with noise. And sometimes we think God is not on our side, but it's simply because there's too much noise and you cannot hear anything. So yeah, those are some of the things that have bothered me. And then I also think about rural people, rural-based women. What are we saying? I mean, they don't have access to any of this. They don't have, how have they've done this? And this is coming from someone who is incredibly strong and resilient. I know how to deal with it, okay? But I don't understand how women have been able to deal with with hormonal changes without support. I don't know how it's been done. And for you could argue, Amanda, you are waking up now to reality. Yeah, your privilege. True, you never understand the depth of something until you are in it yourself. So the beautiful thing about it is I'm in another chapter of life that I am absolutely enjoying. I'm learning so much about myself. I'm getting into new things that I wouldn't have otherwise got into. Okay, wait. Let me add some more olive oil, because now I'm going to add spices. So the thing with spices is I don't add them to the meat. I don't put the meat and then add the spices. I cook the spices just a little bit, but you cook them to a point where they're just about to burn, but you don't burn them. Technicality, ne? See, you never thought I was a technical cook. I am. Okay, so let me first do this. As you can see, I have a lot to say, right? That's the nice thing about being off for a while. I get stuff to say. Okay, so that's good. Now, what I'm going to do, here are my spices. Okay, so I've got ground coriander, ground cardamom. I've got a harissa blend. It adds a nice kick to the curry. A mild curry, meat masala, and garam masala. Now, what I'm missing here is cumin and a little turmeric. So I got some turmeric, and give me cumin. Oh, where's my cumin? Okay, well, looks like I ain't got no cumin. But the nice thing about me, I use what I've got. And okay, so I'm gonna add some spices. Let's see if you have a question for me. I'll show you how I add a lot of spice, but I'll show you. Because if it's gonna be a curry, let it be spicy. But I'm gonna add some more olive oil and up the heat so that it burns it nicely. It cooks it nicely without burning it, you know. I have a guy who works in my business. He likes to make curry for me, and I've worked with him for 10 years. So some of the things he's taught me over the years, and as far as curries are concerned, I use them, but then I add my own spin. He's Indian, so he's obviously, you know, his way of cooking is I respect that it's his cultural way of cooking. Did I put mild curry? Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't remember now. Okay, let me put them here. That's the other thing. Brain fog. But it's okay. It's okay. We've got this. We've got this. And then let me add some garam masala. But yeah, so he was here the last time because he's now based out of the country, and he was here the last time and he cooked for me. And but I like to add my own spin to every meal. I respect how it's made, so I keep to maybe some of the basics, but I like to cook it the way I like to cook it. But you probably will look at it and be like, actually, how you're cooking it is not that different from him. But he makes a mean curry. So let me show you what my pot's gonna look like. I actually have a really cool stand device thing that I bought that turns the phone around. You know, when you're moving, it goes with you. I thought I was gonna use it. I started unpacking it, and then I'm like, oh no, I don't have the patience for this. And my son showed me how it's used, and then the next thing I realized it only takes an iPhone, and I don't use an iPhone. I have one. Even yesterday I was like, okay, let's switch. And then I'm like, oh, you know, changing everything is such a nightmare. So yeah, I'm a typical middle-aged woman now. I complain about everything. I complain about everything. If it's gonna take effort, I don't wanna do it. So my phone is gonna be still like this, because now this phone, it's one of those folding ones, but now the camera fails when it's folded. So now I'm like, what am I doing? So this phone is now wide open and I can't move it. So I can, but I might drop it. So just give me a moment. Let me show you. I'm gonna up the heat, and then I'm gonna add, by the way, no wait, let me show you something I found, but I'm gonna hide the name of the supermarket. Check this out. Don't laugh, guys, go rough up. Check this. This is garlic herb, and it's garlic and herb squeeze. There's also a plain garlic squeeze. It is so cool. Okay, wait, I think I forgot that I was hiding the supermarket name. I'm not advertising them, but I'm plugging you. Okay, fine, because I'm plugging you. Okay, fine. This thing, you just squeeze it. It's like a sauce. Like, yeah. I am so obsessed. I am so obsessed because I like convenience, you know. Yeah, so I use this as well. Let me actually just add it for good measure. I already put in quite a bit of garlic. So let me add a little more oil. So you know I know. I thought I would tell you that it's not that one. It's this one. It's the other one. But I'm like, oh, if I'm plugging you, let me plug you for real. Okay. So I'm gonna show you what this looks like now. So I've just added my, those who are asking, we're making lamb curry. I've just added my spices now. Looking good. So what I'm gonna do is up the heat. So I've added a little more, olive oil. Okay, so it's my pleasure. I also, if you see my glow, I know you said I glow. I'm glowing. Yeah, I also have a bit of sweat on me right now. Yo, it doesn't, the hot flashes, I don't have hot flashes, like, I don't have like, I'm just hot. I'm just hot. So my kids, when they're cold, they come near me and they hold on to my skin, and half the time I'm just like, completely open, and they just like hold on to me. I say I'm open, I mean like I'm wearing a t-shirt. so so yeah, I'm hot, but I also have a glow, guys. Like honestly, look at me, hey? And you know what I use? Here's another plug, unashamedly. You have to, because I knew you were gonna say something about my glow. Yeah, and my kids have been teaching me how to do combos. I'm saying, show me you have teenage kids, with teenage girls particularly, without telling me. You see the combo. So I'm learning how to blend my lip liner and this is a mist. This thing protects you against elements. Even if you are people that wear makeup, I generally don't. I don't wear makeup. I wear it when I have to. But I swear by the double serum and this is that thing. So the SPF 15. You have to have sunscreen on all of your creams, okay? Because the sun is real. And of course, I mean the double serum. I have a new one because I finished all these other ones. So, but the thing that, so there's questions here about processes for dealing with perimenopause. You have to find a menopause specialist, but at the top of the list, you have to actually do your own research, because perimenopause or menopause affects women differently, but there's common things, there's common threads. Like I used to have night sweats, but I didn't know what night sweats are. I mean, I knew what night sweats are. Like but I just knew that I was hot in the night. Like I was soaking wet during the night, and I just wake up in the middle of the night, take off my pajamas and sleep naked. The thing with perimenopause is that you may know about it. When it hits you, you don't know that it is it. It's the most incredible experience. It's like you're in a trance of some kind. Okay, I'm happy with my my spices right now. Happy they're starting to, so I'm gonna add a little more olive oil because now I'm gonna add the meat. Okay, so I'm happy I'm happy with the spices, but you don't know you're going through it until you go through it. So it's not as dark as it looks on the photo on the video. I don't know what you're seeing, but on my side it's perfectly done. Okay, so I like the bone, so I'm keeping the bone, but I'm just gonna cut it into pieces that will align with the other pieces that I already have. So, say I showed you when we started, I already have these small tubes of lamb, but to me, meat without the bone is not meat. So I always add some lamb chomps to the equation. So yeah, I don't know about hormone replacement therapy, as in I'm not an expert, I know about it, but there are people who swear by it. I'm not yet at that stage of looking at it, but I mean, I don't know, to be honest, I'm still busy with my own research on, what it is that I do next for my own health. But do your research. Speak to a menopause specialist. Speak to your gynae, most importantly. Half the time they don't know. I mean, if you were at the event, what event is it again that I host? Bosley Sage, the November brunch. If you were there, I hosted a discussion on perimenopause. Gynaes don't know. But find a specialist, find a specialist gynae, find an obstetrician, find a sexologist, find somebody, okay? But most importantly, do your own research, guys. Do your own research and speak to a healthcare provider. You can also speak to a GP. But I had to tell my gynae that I am perimenopausal. And she said, there's no way, you are only 46 or whatever. I'm like, I am. Okay, and we did some tests, and it showed signs of perimenopause. So a drop in estrogen, or a drop in your estradiol, whatever. Okay, do a hormone test. But I'm not gonna say to you, there's no doctor that deals with it. So there's multiple different people that can help you. You do your own research. Read. Map your own symptoms. Try something. I've got if you see my supplements, the corner there, it's insane. But what I'm working on, because that's the other thing, is you don't know what to take for what. Then you end up, I ended up at some point I was taking 13 supplements because, okay, when I started taking them, I was feeling better. But I don't know which of these is actually making me feel better. And then because I am feeling better, I don't want to let go of them. Because you could argue, why are you taking a multivitamin when you are then proceeding to take multiple different ones? So I'm not a health specialist. I can't advise you on this, but I am working on something with health specialists. But ultimately, you have to do what is right for you. We can talk about diet all we want. We can talk about exercise all we want. Yes, stay moving, but the other thing that I'm looking at, which I did recently, was my DNA. I did a DNA test to understand my DNA makeup so that I understand what to take for my own genetic makeup. Because I can tell you magnesium glycinate helps you sleep at night, but maybe that's not going to help you sleep at night because your genetic makeup is different. So I did my DNA test, and so now I got the results, and we're busy interpreting the results, and we're saying, okay, even exercise programs are not the same for all of us. But when your friends having gains with Pilates and you want to go to Pilates, but that might not work for you, and you think they don't work, but actually it just doesn't work for you. So it has been the most empowering thing I've had to go through, because now I understand myself a bit better. I feel empowered to make my own decisions, because it just feels like for years we've outsourced our decision making on our health to people, yes, that we're supposed to trust, who are specialists, but you realize that they're not specialists at the thing that you are suffering from. So, and the beautiful thing about the research I've been doing over the years is these specialists themselves will tell you, we are gynecologists, we are trained in this manner. I'm trained in this manner. And doctors are largely there to treat pathology. So they're trained to treat when you already have symptoms. But can we talk about how to prevent the symptoms, how to even prevent pathology? Which again, for me, through my research, I'm like, but guys, why haven't we been leading with functional medicine from the beginning? It's called functional medicine. But I don't go with words and trends and what it's called. I go with what makes sense. And for me right now, if I had to tell myself, there's no point in that. But if you are like in your 30s, I suggest you start taking supplements, darling. You will not be youth forever. Some of us were youth yesterday, and look at us now. So listen, do what you gotta do. But if I were you, I would start just a simple multivitamin, because what you want to do is avoid pathology. And doctors are trained to, and these are not my words, theirs, they're trained to treat pathology. Okay, so let me show you what I've been doing. You can see me. Yeah. So I don't mind aging. In fact, I love seeing some fine lines start to come through. You know, who gogo on a baby face, dim lawyer. Okay, maybe I don't have a baby face, but I'm 48 soon. I don't feel that old, but the reality of it is age in my body is starting to take effect. So I mean, I don't mind aging. Believe me, I'm happy with it. I just don't like the stuff that comes with it. So I have to make sure that I age with vitality. So I age, if it's proven, maybe some of us, maybe others, that we're gonna live for longer, how do we make sure that we live with vitality? So we don't want our bones to be brittle and breaking whilst we are still gonna live for 80 more years, right? Hi guys, hi. So that's kind of where I'm at, is okay, now I go and I research for you and I do all these things, find out based on what I'm experiencing, because if I'm going through it, my community is going through it. So I'm your self-elected research person. So don't keep asking me, dance for us, come cook for us. I'm busy trying to deal with the health issues that you are battling with right now. So choose, you want entertainment or you want vitality? Yes, sis, dance for us, then entertain yourselves, guys. Yes, haven't I at least shared that, or at least taught you that? Get up, entertain yourself, dance for yourself. I'm not ipopai yako. You Safa, Bo Amanda, dance for us, mentor us, cook for us, can't you? Yes, sis. Yes, I'm in a tank. You do want it all. Do it for yourselves. How? I must be hotshot businesswoman, teach you how to build a business. By the way, I still don't do anything to do with investments. It's 2026, let's not do this. I'm not on TikTok, I'm not on Facebook, I'm not on X. If you're busy dealing with me there, you are on your own. So, like, business, I want to start a business, I want to scale a business, teach me. And then, said to cook. Where are the cooking sessions, Amanda? I did 1 million of them, they're on YouTube. Go there. When are you dancing? Oh my gosh, you know your Friday dances. You've already seen I can dance, right? Get up and dance, okay? Don't wait for me to do it. Don't wait for me to prompt you. Guys, you don't pay me to dance. Dance for yourselves. I told you I'm not sweet anymore. I used to be. I hope you enjoyed that phase of my life. Safa. You? Safa. Oh, Amanda, teach me how to be a parent. How did you do this thing? Childhood trauma. Yo, look at you. Rose, you rose like a phoenix. Amanda. How do you make money? How do you... Yo. Oh, how are you? A wife. How do you do it? You? Hi, guys. Get... Sabi perimenopause. Yes, with or without you, it's there, coming. Be prepared. Oh, so smelling so good. I wish you could smell it. But anyway, let me put this. So I'm just gonna let... Please, they must just buy the books. I agree. I put these things in the books. Baked in Pain was my first book. 2018, I released it. The year I turned 40. Okay. Second book I released 2021. Therefore, I Rose. In between, I released a children's book called A Brave Girl Named Aya. And my latest book, Stable But Turbulent. Guys, we've journeyed, okay, from childhood trauma to yabona manje, we've arrived, we are here. Asena ama issues lanka besinawo in Baked in Pain. But we're talking about the long-term effects of them, but how we have risen above them, our families, how we're raising our families. You ask me, oh, how do I look after my plants? I've put it in a book for you. Get the book. You, shame. Okay, so I'm gonna make this. Hi, Suka man. Give me a break. I'm dealing with one diabila, and it's not that hot, man. It's not that hot. Is it hot? No. I'm busy dealing with myself now, and then mentorship, cooking, dancing, plants, recipes. Woo! Okay, I'm gonna serve this with hi guys, cake. It's okay if you don't wanna follow me. Like I told you, whether you do or not, my children still have food in their tummy. No, I appreciate you following me, okay? For fun though, not, don't think me. This is how we get rice. I'm pairing this lamb with we add bay leaves at the end of the cook, darling. Herbs, okay, generally, as a rule, herbs, you add them towards the end of the cook, okay? Because you want to extract the optimum aromas. So niyabona anko sexy la endlini angina scoops of rice, but nayi, what was this? A cup. It's like a sippy cup. It works. I use brown rice in this house. I really do like white rice, but the older you get, uzobona white rice, what it will do to you. But okay, I circle up brown rice. So it's just brown rice, guys. Nothing to tell you here. I'm just gonna let it boil. I'll drain the water and put it back. It's curry, but a lot of people don't necessarily serve with vegetables. They add potatoes. I've got potatoes. I also have some broccoli though, because I can't eat any meal that doesn't have something green. I've just always been like that. Vegetables are very important to me. I'm not a person that goes to gym. I think you all know this. I exercise, I'm active. But honestly, I'm genetically blessed, let me put it that way, because that's the other thing with doing your DNA test, is understanding your genetic makeup. So I am a person that I can stay not active and I don't gain much weight because I eat healthy. I cook most of my meals. But the one thing I have noticed with perimenopause is a slight jump in weight. And then that thing. That thing. What the hell is that thing? Huh? Like, how do you just wake up one day and you have that thing? So, anyway, we're dealing with those learnings and understanding hormones, cortisol, how it builds up and how to release it, how to. So somebody mentioned hormone replacement therapy. Again, this is something you have to talk about with your healthcare professional. I'm not one, so I'm just doing my research. Yeah, if upa, there's like this little belt that is uninvited. It's like, how did you get there? Okay, so anyway, the meat is looking good. So these are the things that you have to take your health into your own hands. But yes, I'm happy to do it for you, to do the research and come back and share it with you, to tell you what's working for me. That's how I've always lived my life. I go through experiences, I share them with you, you take what works and leave what you don't care for, okay? So yeah, I've been doing this. And then there's things, I used to, and now I'm talking to these 20s, 30s who think they'll forever be hot, young, and happening. I was once there. Menake, to keep my figure, ne? And my trim, beautiful, genetically gifted self, when I felt like I was feeling a bit heavy, because I'm a person that will eat, I will eat whatever I want. So I love potatoes, and sometimes the potatoes will show you flames. So me, I would just get on a flight and go on holiday and walk 10,000, 15,000 steps, 20,000 steps. Nguye ngithe, ne, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of walking every day. So when I felt like I was a little heavy, I would just go on holiday and come back, all good. I've never been on a diet. I've never had to go to gym to sort my weight. I've never had weight issues. Here in my 40s, if you know where I've been this last couple of years, I just have not been telling you. Because, mind you, if I tell you I've traveled, first of all, some of you sent SARS on me and are fine. We went through that process for 2 years, lifestyle audit. And I can assure you, I am a very honest, tax-paying citizen of this country. Hence, I'm still here. So, we go. Asanibonisa manje ama first class seats wethu ngoba nina and then nina sazi because bakhona la usazi baya checker just so you know. Make sure you do what is right, because the truth is the only thing that will help you. The truth is the only thing that will defend your honor. So do me a favor, especially you entrepreneurs with new money, pay your taxes. But make sure you have accountants, you know. Yeah? So smart and you should take, yeah. So, check this out. How beautiful. Can you see it? So, I'm gonna close my pot. And it is on high heat, so yeah, that's what I used to do. I would go travel and come back and I in the 40s, I would come back and be like, excuse me, where's that thing that works? Like, what has happened here? So, yeah, things do change, and they change rather rapidly and very quickly. You think, usase, perimenopause can start as early as 35. Okay, so don't think, oh my gosh, Mina, that's such a long way away. Yeah, we also used to think that. Okay, so we also used to think that. Okay, I'm just gonna soak the broccoli in some water to wash it. Just give me a sec. My meat is cooking, my rice is cooking. I'm just gonna add some water. Yeah, so okay, I guess you might have a question. Let me see. Who are these people trying to get me to add them to my thing? Like, why? Maybe that's a new thing on Instagram. I don't know. I think this was always there. Someone trying to join your stream or whatever it is. Okay, let me see what's happening here. Oh yeah, no. If you keep telling your gynae may not believe you. Mine, who was one of the best in the country, did not believe me. You own your health, guys. It's the same thing I say to you about your career. You own your career. Not your manager, not your employer. You own your career, you own your health. And when we see how much we've been outsourcing, it is what it is, but once you know, right? Once you know, you know. Okay, so let me see. Okay, no questions. Oh, fantastic. So you just wanted to see my face for no reason whatsoever. I'm happy. This is not going to last for long. So whilst my meat is cooking, oh guys, it looks so beautiful. I add canned tomatoes, but I buy I'm not advertising them, but I mean, this is what I use, so what can I do? High quality canned tomatoes. Some people use fresh tomatoes. The problem with them is that I always find that it's a hit and a miss with tomatoes, because they either aren't too acidic, or I struggle to find the ones that are really perfectly sweet for cooking with. So I just stick to what I know. I do sometimes, if I get those like nice beautiful big cherry, they're not cherry tomato, rosa tomatoes, but the big ones. I used to grow them. My vegetable garden is in a sorry state. It reflects how I've been feeling. But I add this to the meat. And then I'll give you a little tip with tomatoes. The trick to dulling the acidity of the tomatoes, that's what you do. A little brown sugar. So just a little pinch of brown sugar. You don't want your meal to taste like I'm a sweet. So I'll show you now. There's a question. If it's not in the question box, I can't answer it. That's for lunch. Yes, sis. I've been on this thing for almost an hour. Hello, welcome. Okay, so you can see, so I've now added I hope you can see properly. I've added the can of tomatoes. All of this sauce here is just from the meat itself. You can see. No, I have to show you. I have to show you the good stuff. Wait. Let me show you the good stuff. Check all this sauce. Check all this. This is beautiful, thick curry. It's a curry. But again, I'm making it my way. So I've added a can of tomatoes, a pinch of brown salt, and then I'm just gonna let it cook again. So my garden is in a bit of, my vegetable garden is in a state, so I don't have fresh herbs and I didn't buy them from the store, but I use what I've got, okay? So yeah, that's the tip with tomatoes. Whatever you make with tomatoes, if it tastes too sharp, too acidic, a pinch of brown sugar, a pinch. And sometimes you can also use a pinch of baking soda, not baking powder, baking soda, which is quite hard to find in South Africa, by the way. I buy mine on Amazon. Can you believe that? But okay. So bay leaves and coriander. So that's typically what I would use. So where is it? Guys, I live with a husband who loves making wellness things, and then everything just finishes up and he doesn't buy it. I use coriander leaves, dried coriander. And then I also, because I cook the way I want to cook, not the way I'm told. So I like to flip recipes. Ooh. I have a little visitor here. But I add whatever herbs I want to add. For me, it's about the taste profile. So bicarbonate of soda and baking soda are actually two different things. They're two different things. Right? Baking soda, bicarbonate of soda, baking powder are three different things, because I have all of them in the house, because I used bicarbonate of soda at one time for a recipe I was making, and it was not baking soda. So I also use baking soda for, like, I keep it in the fridge to absorb odors. So it's not the same thing. And I know the bicarbonate of soda, that thing that is it's in those, I know it in the little packets because I buy it in the other supermarket that I will also not mention, but it's number 3 on the list. Yeah, but I think it does a similar job. It's just up to you what you want. Yeah, so I use all the herbs I can find. And I live my life like this. I like to use things, if maybe let me take a step back and say, one of the things in my life, and I put this in my book, Stable but Turbulent, is, you know, when you live in a big city, and you have the means, life gets too convenient, you know. And it is possible that this is not going to be understood by everyone, and that's okay, because it's a thing that you get to something. And this is a life stage. Yeah, these supermarkets, they might as well just, like, you know, do something with me. No, I don't want that. So you get to a point where things are, you want a simple life, like you want to simplify your life. But you can only get to that point when you've kind of reached a certain place that you maybe have wanted to reach, or is deemed where you should be, or whatever success is to you, and the lens through which society is looking at it. But a lot of the people in my life stage, and I'm not saying a lot of the people, I'm talking about the people I've spoken to. So maybe let me rephrase. And what I've been going through is, when I go to the countryside, I don't go and stock up unless I'm with my family. So my family, here's two different ways of living in my house. My husband and my kids are foodies. They love food. They love to experiment with food. They love to eat the food. So I'm always, you know, catering for them. I eat for nutrition. I don't eat because, oh my gosh, oh, no. In fact, I find eating to be the most irritating thing I have to do, because I can't avoid it. I have to eat. But, so I can go to the countryside house and just sit there. I can go to, and just use what I've got. So I don't shop. In fact, I like the fact that I don't know what's there, because sometimes my husband goes and he's there for 2 weeks by himself, or a week by himself, so I don't know what's there. I like to go and just use whatever's there. Sometimes I find chickpeas, or organic kidney beans, or a can of indonla fishes kulengai, Lucky Star. Whatever. The only problem with it is it gives me a heartburn, so can't really eat it, even though it's so nice. And then, yeah, I eat whatever is there. I step outside onto my on the patio. I've got vegetables growing there. I can pick some spinach, some potatoes, get some potatoes, and cook that. I just use whatever is there. If it's not there, I don't go to the shop to buy it. I get there and I sit in the house the entire time that I'm there. I'll go out maybe to go for a walk, because I'm really like dragging myself to go out for a walk. And that is my way of resting. So if I'm trying to go away to rest, I don't want to then still be thinking, oh, okay, groceries, because then I'm not breaking the monotony of my life or the things that I do every day. So that's how I like, those things give me an opportunity for a simplified life. And I'm trying to do more and more of that, where convenience is what we know, it's a great thing, but I think also it takes away a bit of that creativity that that you have when you don't have so much convenience and so much access and so many resources to be able to, you know. But anyway, I'm also a person that just enjoys pap and spinach, and just, you know, I'm happy, and eggs. So yeah, but my family on the other hand, my husband will want, he cooks himself a 3-course meal, even when he's there by himself. He will, oh Lord, and it has to be pretty, and he does that for himself. That's not, I don't want that. And he cooks more when he's there, because he's inspired, you know. So anyway, I've said a lot. Let me show you what the meat looks like. It looks beautiful, guys. It looks beautiful, guys. Can you see that? You can see it? Oh, look at that. Look at that sauce. Oh my gosh, that curry is so good. Okay, so I'm gonna let it cook some more. I am not ignoring my rice. I'm not drain the water now. Okay, you don't have questions? If you don't have questions, I think I've said way more than I thought I would. What time is it? Okay. Yeah. I think that's the essence of my life. Yeah, I think it's nice to actually, for me, the life stage I'm at is about understanding myself, simplifying my life. Next week we take the kids to university, the girls. So that's another phase of life that I now have to navigate is, okay, now I'm gonna have my son left at home. My son has never been without his siblings. So, you know, life is changing, and even he's starting to say things like he wants to go to a basketball academy because he's a big basketball player. So that's another thing I have to navigate, because to him, home is where these two are, and now they're gone. So what is the meaning of home for him? So I'm moving into a stage in life that I've never been before. I've never been prepared for. Pretty much like how I've parented. I've never been prepared for that either. Maybe I was baked in pain. Maybe I was, but the point is that there's always something in life, and therefore, and you think that when you've reached a certain point in your life, things get a bit more easier, but they don't. I think what happens is that you need to adjust yourself to that life stage. So I need to now understand that, okay, particularly with my son, is okay, how do we start new traditions together? How do we, what is the thing that we're now going to do as our thing? He's an athlete, he's very health conscious, so there's things around that, you know. I've started asking him, okay babe, so, you know, what are your favorite things to eat? Like, I mean, what do you want to eat going forward? Because also the thing with kids, one moment you think you know what they like, and you stock up, you buy one, they finish it in within the minute, and then you buy 4, and then they don't eat it, and then you're like, oh. So now I'm giving him the responsibility of preparing his own menu. And his own menu is, okay, he likes broccoli, he likes green beans, he likes Brussels sprouts, he likes this. So I'm like, okay, give me a list of the things that you like, and then we can prepare a menu around that. Because come next week, in the next 2 weeks, essentially, it will just be him and I in this house, and my husband, but my husband travels a lot, so it literally will just be him and I. And the other day we had the girls had gone out with their friends, and he was at home. Well, he was at school because he's back at school now. And then he was at home, and literally he sat there and I sat in my corner, and it was dead silence. And he was doing his thing. I was sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, is this how it's going to be? Now, I don't mind that we can exist in two spaces, in the same space, and have two worlds. Something that I actually appreciate, and that's, I mean, I've been with my husband for 20 years this year, so we know exactly how to be together but separate. But it's the first time I'm experiencing this, you know, with the children, and also a teenage boy. My son turned 15 in November. The way of conversation and the way of conversation with girls is very different, and I think generally I can say this based on my research and the things that I, you know, speak to people about, is they go through their own. He's trying to figure out who he is, and you know, one of the things that we do, and you guys like you like trends, you like being told by these people who are gurus on the internet, is that, oh, when your child comes from school, ask them these questions. Here's the thing. You will parent the way you wish to parent, and you will take from those what works for you. Here's what works for me. I like to conversate with my children. So when, my kids drive, don't ask me how the 15-year-old drives. It's in a closed space, so he takes himself to school. But when he comes back, I want to know, so how was your day, baby? What was exciting? You know the things we get told, ask your children. And then he's like, just fine. And I'm like, hey? Okay, so what was exciting? Who did what? You know, because you're trying to get it out of him. And he's like, yeah, it's just fine. And then I realized, as I said to him one day, I said, baby, tell me why do you do that? Like, when I try to talk to you about, just to find out how your day was, and he says, it's because I'm so tired at the end of the day. He's like, I've had classes for 6 hours. I've done basketball for 3 hours. I am tired, Mama. Like, I don't want to talk. And I said, okay, so why don't you say that? Why don't you say, I'd love to tell you about my day, Mama, but not now. I'm just tired. Because then I'll honor that, I'll respect that. To us as parents, when your child responds like that, we think, okay, something is wrong. Okay, he needs to see a psychologist. Okay, is he on drugs? Okay, is he getting bullied? Okay, like, right? Because we wired to always look out for the negative, for the red flags. You know your language, Nina, millennial. Now we didn't grow up with anything. You could do a red flag. So we as parents, we're very intense, and everything we want to interpret it. And my way is just talk to your children and ask, if something is uncomfortable with you, ask them, why do you do that? And yes, we still have to parent, we still have to guide. That doesn't exonerate us from our responsibilities, but we also have to respect the space that they are at, the place they are at, what they're trying to do with their lives. And so with me, the place I'm at is honoring that he's tired when he comes from, no, don't worry, we're all guilty of it, as especially mothers. Because also he's like that even in the morning. So this one time I was saying to my husband, I've tried him now. And my husband says, babe, just don't talk to him in the morning, because he doesn't want to talk in the morning. So I've had to like, okay, fine. So now I literally just stand on the side and I wait. It's very hard for us because, and I don't know about you, but my son used to live under my skin. Like literally under my skin, and now he's this dude who's like ushap here now without me. Huh? So therefore, what do we do, especially as mothers? We keep doing this, and what it does, it erodes what we think we have with them. So it's just to go with their rhythm and understand that, please, some of us grow up in relationships where in homes where the parent is the authority. No, first of all, we all know that's not true. I'm not the authority of my husband, of my son. My husband, maybe I am of him. But I'm not the authority of my son. My son is an individual with his own needs. My children are their own individuals. I have to guide them, respect their opinion, while still guiding them in the right manner, disciplined way it's required. But I don't own my child. So if he doesn't want to talk in the morning, it's not because he's disrespecting me. It's because that's his rhythm. His rhythm is in the morning, he just wants to, first of all, he hates that he has to wake up early, but he has to go to school. And then when he comes back, he's tired because he's had a long day. So there will be space. So I'm finding spaces in between where we can just have a 2-minute conversation, but it is led by him. I have to, because that's the life stage he's at. It's not going to last forever, but given that, I think those stages do last forever. especially with boy children. But when he needs me, believe me, 1 minute he'll be like, he's fine. And he's tall, right? So he thinks he's the man. And then the next, Mama, how do I do this? Mama, where's this? And that's what we need to be doing, is stay close enough so that, so the analogy I use is when he reaches for me, he must find me. That's it for me. And sometimes he's outside shooting hoop, I go and join him and play with him. I may suck, but he enjoys the fact that, you know, I challenge him. I'm like, well, now you can't even score me. Now, I used to be in netball. Netball, not basketball. So you have to find the things that they are interested in and see if there's a gap where you can just step in for a few minutes. But please don't be overbearing. Like, and I know because I'm speaking from experience. The natural thing to do is to want to dig more, want to do more. Yes, stay vigilant, check your health, the health of your child, check what's happening with them. Check these devices, especially if they're still young, check what's happening. But don't be so, and I always tell them, I'm like, if there's something you want to talk about and you can't talk to us, remember you've got your uncle there, and here's the psychologist number. Put the number there. I'm like, here, if you ever need to talk to somebody and it's not with us. And some parents take it personal, that why won't you talk to me? I mean, I know that even here, their dad used to be like that. But I'm like, there comes a time when you are no longer the answer to their problems or their challenges or the things that they're trying to figure out. And the best thing you can do as a parent is respect that and give them a way, give them a space to say, this is where you can go if you need to. But listen, most of us are parents for the first time without much guidance or, you know, but some people come from wonderful homes where, but again, the culture was different. So you have to build your own culture with your own people. Wait, I'm gonna put, I thought my phone was on silent. But anyway, I'm gonna add some potatoes now to my meat, okay? I'm glad to hear you finding my advice useful. I'm an expert now at parenting. Okay, for 18 years, I've managed 19. Check that. So my kids are turning 19 this year, my firstborn children. So now I can tell you that I'm an expert at this. This is so beautiful. So what I'm gonna do, oh yeah. We don't cook without an apron when we're cooking curry, okay? Because things happen. Things happen. Okay, so this is looking really good. Really, really good. I hope you can see that. Absolutely stunning. So now what I'm gonna do is add some potatoes. So I only have 2 big potatoes. Now, I love me a curry with some potatoes because it soaks up those beautiful juices, okay? I also have baby potatoes. I don't like to peel baby potatoes because, I mean, we all know, right? But when I say we all know, they're tiny and peeling them is like torture. So now I'm trying to decide what I should do. Use these 2, chop them up into small little pieces, or use the baby potatoes. What do you think I should do? Let me act like your opinion matters. Okay, let me see this question. This question says, how do you or did you address dating for your kids? Was there an age where they were allowed to date? Did you meet their parents? Please share how you navigate this. Okay, I think this is actually a really nice question. Collapse once. Listen, thank you. Peel the big ones, yeah. Because you just want me to stay here for long. You just want me to keep working, because then it keeps me online for longer. Sus man, I can see what you're doing. But I agree with you. That's why they are on the so dating, ne? So our kids are turning 19 now in May. They've had their boyfriends for, I think the one is 10 months. So that was when they started having boyfriends. I think the other one is 7 months type thing. But they had before that they had this long talking stage. You know, honestly, I am so impressed, to be honest. I'm impressed, I am blown away, I am shocked at how this younger generation is carrying themselves. Because and I mean, I'm not here to tell my children's stories, but there's a long period of talking before there's dating, and they get officially asked to date, like for real. I feel like I envy that. Kufakwa effort, man. It feels like Tina. Iyavele yenzeka nje. So yeah, the whole thing about dating is like, I'm just blessed to have children who are who didn't for a while. Not because we said so. That's because they just didn't. They don't care for it. But the thing, what happens with children, particularly girls, I guess I can only speak for that because they're now turning 19 this year, so my experiences with them. There is a period of not knowing what they like, so they have to kind of figure that out. So every child is different, and how that's navigated in each home is also different. Again, I'm not a parent that would say, I think at some point my husband was like, you can only date when you're at university. Now, I know, see sharp, because we can see how they've been treated. We don't have, we have children who respect themselves and who are still naive enough to not pursue sex or anything. Again, I think this is another generational thing that I'm experiencing, even with other, not just my own. Because I ask my children, I'm the mom that goes there. Like, I will go there and I will go hard and I will ask, okay, have you spoken about sex with your boyfriend? And they're like, no, that hasn't come up. Like, no, we're not, no, you know. And not in a, oh my gosh, that's disgusting, how can, no. In a, actually, no, that hasn't come up. They go, they date, they'll ask, can they go out on it with their boyfriend? And they'll go to a gallery and a movie and have lunch and they come home. We know where they are all the time. And there is a certain sense of their rhythm is not to rush. So again, I'm not saying that's how every child is. I'm saying every child is different. Every family is different. How you deal with this is different. I've always been talking to my children from the day they even got their period, when they were like 14, I think. I said to them, okay, girls, this is what it means. And even with sex, I'm like, let me know when you're ready to do things like that, because there's nothing wrong with it. What is wrong is going into a situation without your consent, without being prepared for it. So let me help you navigate that. And another parent might be like, oh my gosh, the less you talk about that, the better. Because, because you don't talk about it, you pretend it doesn't exist. So one way or the other, your children will experiment at some point. You decide if you want to take part or not. I'm not saying there's a right or wrong way. It's just how you prefer to do it. So yeah, our girls have boyfriends and I've had them now for a while. We've met them, but we haven't had a when we say we met them, we don't have one of those where we're like, okay, lobola. No. Of course we've met them, or one parent or something, because I think the matric dance, the boy was dropped off by his father, the one boy, and then the other boy, we met at the thing. But he's come here multiple times. He drives, he comes to drop off flowers. I've told him, step inside, say hello. You know, they come in and they say hello, and that's it. And then the other one does come to hang because he's a youngest, and he's the only one here in the country. His siblings are outside the country, so sometimes he wants to come and hang out here, and they come and hang out in the lounge with her siblings. So it's not as terrifying as it is, as we think it is, because I just think we've made it out, because again it's a generational thing. We come from, when I got my period, the only thing my mom said was, if you go anywhere near boys, you'll fall pregnant. Okay, like, okay, what does that mean? Like, but our children are individuals. They will have a life with or without us. We decide how we want to take part in guiding and shaping that life. So that's my answer to that question. It's you as a new parent having to deal with it, or when you're new to it, it can freak you out. I think all of us as parents, we get freaked out by one thing or another. It just is. So you decide how you're going to handle it. And can I tell you, how you choose to handle it is the right way. But let me ask you to please not apply the same filter of parenting that was instilled upon you. It's okay to get to a point where you say, actually, the way I was taught about this is not necessarily how I want to raise my kids. It's not dishonoring your parents or how you were raised or whoever raised you. You don't have to keep doing it the way it was done because you think you are obligated to that. Times have changed. We know more now. Information is key. We now know that being next to a boy does not lead to pregnancy. Fact, right? I became pregnant at 29 when I decided that that's what I wanted to do. Yes? Okay, well, this guy, he convinced me and I said yes. Look at us now. So, yeah, I hope that's helpful. But I think don't approach it with too much anxiety, because that's when we make mistakes as parents. And you still want your children, think about it this way, you still want your children, no matter what they go through out there, to come back to you when they need you. To not think, oh my gosh, I'm too scared. My parents, they're going to kill me. I never want my children to say that, because that means if they find themselves in trouble, they thinking there's no way they can come to me because I'm going to interrogate them about why were you there to begin with. Yeah, we can talk about that later. If when you need me, you should not even doubt. You should immediately call me. I should be the safest place on earth for my children. And that's how I've raised them. That's how I've been doing it. And it's not going to change. Okay? I hope that's helpful. I'm going to add stock. So I've added the potatoes now. I did chop them up. Thank you very much for your amazing advice. I did chop them up. Oh, I have basil leaves. Oh! I do. Hazile Herbs. Hazile sent me Dr. Pindi Msomi. She's the winner of the Bold Future Award for last year. She sent me this. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, listen guys, we were all brought up in a certain way. Wrong lead. You choose how you want to raise your kids, because ultimately it's your kids. So, but all I ask is keep the communication open with your children. And you could argue that our children are children. I'll tell them, yeah, but you didn't grow up with all these extra sources of sensory information. You didn't grow up with YouTube, and you can't keep your kids off technology forever. They're grown, they are born into technology. Like, so you can keep your head in the sand all you want and say, oh, this, oh, this. Ultimately, Their lives are carrying on with or without you. So you choose how you're going to take part in it. Do you enable them for a past that you lived or a future that they live, that they are going into? And that's the biggest conflict, generational conflict, if I put it that way. It's this, I really would love to read these comments that you're writing, guys. Please put them in that question box. Even if it's not a question, I really want to engage with it. But the future that they are in, it's not the one it's not yours. Yours, sorry, gone. Somebody else was in charge of your future back then. Now it's your turn. So you choose how you want to play this game. Do you want to take part? Or do you want to be an outsider looking in? Because that's what happens when you choose not to take part. Or when you choose to create conflict. They have more information now. They don't even depend on you. I mean, I remember the one time I was talking to my girls about sex. I started asking them first, do you know what sex is? And they were, 14. And they're like, yeah, we know, Mama. We were taught in it was life science or whatever the class was. We were taught about babies and how they come, and they showed us. And I'm like, okay, cool, great. Half my job is done. And not quite. I'm adding stock to my meat, okay? This is, I just use beef stock. It's up to you what you use. Again, sorry, this freaking brand knows how to put their name everywhere. But this is what I use, okay? It also comes in chicken stock, vegetable, white sauce. But yeah, I'm adding stock to my curry now, so that don't worry about the brown rice. It's cooking nicely. I've tasted it. I need to drain the water now. So all is good. So I have now, let me take off my phone and show you actually what I've now done. Because now I'm going to let this cook with the potatoes and let them soak up this beautiful, beautiful curry. Check it out. Can you see that? You can see it? How does this work? Can you even see? Yeah. Okay. Maybe I have to start using the iPhone now. I resist with everything I've got, but okay, here I am. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. Let me find another question, and then I'll show you my meat now. Okay, same person. How did you plan for the girls going to varsity? Did they choose their own varsities? Please take us to the planning and thought process leading to this. Okay, so let me first show you some meat, okay? I'm sorry that our cooking process is almost coming to an end, okay? But don't worry, I'll make it last just a little longer. So I'm gonna close this, up the heat, and let it cook. Let them cook. So, with the girls, so again, another parenting thing is, and every child is different, right? Remember that. My girls have always been creative, including my son. My husband is in asset management, he's in investments. So I think he had these desires, but he's funny because he always says, yeah, I thought some of my kids will be gynecologists, pediatrician, dentists, because these are all the things we pay a lot of money for. And but we're a very creative family, even if my husband is in asset management. And guys, please do not, scammers, don't you dare. People, don't you dare fall for shit. My husband is not in all this rubbish. He still remains the most Googled thing about me, Amanda Dambuza's husband. And then AI was giving wrong information that there's that signature is my husband. So no, that's my brother. Not blood brother, just friend, brother. It's somebody, you know, I've known for years who's supporting my business. I've supported him and his wife. So don't believe everything you see or read. In fact, assume everything is false until you yourself has proven it. But yeah, so my husband studied investments and ended up in asset management. But our kids are creative. So they've always been creative. They were doing very well in math. They were doing very well in accounting, science. But that's not the path they wanted to follow. So when we started applying, the process was, where do you want to go to study? So the process was, ask them what they want. And they wanted to go to UCT with everything they had in their bones. Because guess what? All these kids in these private schools want to go to UCT. Okay. And say all is a stretch, but you know, significant. It's quite an influence in what they do. So I said, okay, cool. We will apply at UCT. And remember, our public institution, our university institutions, the university institutions in South Africa are public institutions. So you wait for when it opens to apply. And so they wanted to go to university, to UCT. We waited for the process, and I said to them, okay, we also apply to Wits University. We also apply to Stellenbosch, so that, you know, you have options in case one or whatever program you want to study is not great there or not. So those that's the process we followed, and they are going where they are going, which is none of your business. Wherever it is that they are going, they are going. But yeah, you wait for the thing to open, you apply. I help them with the process, and yeah, then you submit the results, grade 11 results, interim, and then you wait. You get conditional offers along the way and get final offers. The final offers come out after matric, so those came out now, and you had 2 days to accept, and then you decline whatever you decline. That's exactly what happened, and they have shopped. They are packing, they are leaving next week. Not leaving, we are taking them next week to wherever they have chosen to study. So I hope that's helpful. But ultimately, your kids, you must follow what your kids' rhythm is. It's what do they want to do and where do they want to go. Then you help them with that process. I'm a Vetsi, so Vets is my alma mater. It would have been very, very unfortunate if Vets wasn't on the list. In fact, their fathers also, but anyway, their father studied everywhere, so he's also an alma mater, Stellenbosch in Nagupi. So yeah, these things you let your kids decide, and that's the process. Good luck. And then South Africa also has private institutions, so yeah, people will apply for those too. And then some people also want their children to go to universities overseas. That's also their prerogative. It's just not us. We didn't want that for their undergrad. So yeah, for their undergrad, they're staying in South Africa, and then they can go wherever they wish to go post-grad. And hopefully it will be a French-speaking country, because they've been doing French for 13 years. And one of the twins was top in grade 12 on all languages. Yeah, I can gloat now. Top in all languages, that this is Zulu, French, English. She got a big trophy. Top of the whole grade. So what we want is for them to be happy. So what do I do with my brown rice? I add Italian herbs, okay? Because brown rice, any rice, guys, let's be honest, it's just so like meh. There's no, it's just rice. So I like to add some herbs to it, some white pepper, Just that, give it a bit of. Ordinarily, what I also do with brown rice is pecan nuts. I roast them, and then I add the brown rice. You know, add some olive oil, and then herbs, and some salt to season. But Anditi, because we are healthy now, we no longer use that other salt. You know that one. Pink salt. Again, the supermarket, yadin, because it has its name there. But pink salt is pink salt. You can get it anyway. What's nice is it also comes in a fine form, because yeah, it's nice to grind. I mean, I've got the grinding one, but when I'm cooking, I like the fine salt. So pink salt is still very healthy. So I use a bit of pink salt. But guys, be careful. Yours can be salty, so a little bit. And then what I do add as well is that, you see that that garlic thing I told you about? So I also have this spice that I like, which is garlic and herb. You can see I have a... No, I didn't ask for a recipe. You don't understand how this works. I'm joking. I do add not lentils but chickpeas and red kidney beans. It just depends on what I'm doing. Hi girls. Come and do that here. Let's see you do that here. How was church?
It was good.
Nice. Where's your brother?
He's still there.
Oh, hanging.
With Alasha.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, so anyway. Yeah, it's got more, you know, life in it. But it's nice, so you decide how you... recipe. If you want to give recipes, start your own cooking show here. Start your own cooking show. But the nice thing with rice or whatever else you cook is that you can add whatever you want. You can add mixed vegetables. You can go all out. But because I'm making the lamb curry, I don't want to do too much with the rice. The more plain it is, the better, because then you let the curry do its thing. But having said that, I like green vegetables, so I'm just adding... I'm cooking on the side broccoli stems. So the thing about your diet, and this doesn't have to wait for when you are in your midlife. Just eat vegetables, guys. Eat vegetables, eat fruit. You know, there are people who say, yeah, but I don't like the taste of fruit in my mouth. We don't judge, but yeah. Make a smoothie, gay. Do something. Be healthy. Any meal that does not have vegetables, firstly, is just not a meal, okay? It's like when you say a meal without meat. Any meal without at least a green vegetable. Guys, please. And you will suffer down the road if you don't heed my advice. Now I can sound like a grown person. You know those people who are like, heed my advice. But the considering how I'm not, I move, but I'm not like a gym fanatic. The only thing that has saved me and ensured my good health and body tea is healthy eating. And healthy eating, guys, cook your meals at home. I know, I need a mali of going out every week. We know. The economy is rough. It costs you far less to cook your meals at home. Now I'm preaching, yeah, I know. But these are also the things I'm busy teaching my children now. That now they have to manage their own affairs at varsity. I'm no longer gonna be there. It's not, and it's a good thing. It's not like here at home now you open the fridge, it's full of everything. You eat the cardboard. No. Vegans also have good meals, man. So it's even with my girls, I teach them, girls, you're gonna have your own money to manage, and the money you get every month is now going straight to you, all of it. Because what I used to do up until this month, they get their money every month, like a salary. Then automatically 80% of it goes off to an investment account at Allen Gray. I don't help anyone with anything related to investments. I am not a certified financial planner. Use reputable organizations for your money, hard-earned money. You will not get rich quick. Forget it. Forget it. Anyway, yeah, so now they have, the money is all theirs, and then we've come up with the budget plan, suggested budget. I'm like, girls, you can no longer just go to a Korean restaurant and spend 2,000 rands, okay? Now you got to make, your money must last the month. And shop wisely. Will boost you for the first month. Knowing their father, it will probably be the first 3 months. But anyway, learn now to manage your money as though we were not there. And it's not a lesson that just started today, though. That's a lesson that started many years ago when they were kids. I would give them money when these birthdays are happening. You know these birthdays. And I'll be like, you can't be buying a toy that 2,000 rands or 1,000 rands every time your friend has a birthday. So we need to budget properly. So we used to do that. And I'm like, this thing of swiping does not give children money lessons, real money lessons. So I would take them to an ATM and they have their bank card. I started doing this when they were like 6 years old, okay? And I'm like, okay, here, withdraw money. So you have how many birthdays coming up? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, who's your real friend here? Because with these young kids, everyone in the class has a birthday. You are buying a gift every week, and I'm like, you angeke, squaz, angeke. And again, the nice thing about these you know, the other people, is that when they don't care, but if I got 200 rand in an envelope, which one dance a gift. So now I started learning. Okay, budget 200 rands. These expensive gifts, because when now you think you must be buying expensive gifts, it's not gonna work. And we'd go and take out cash, hard cold cash. And I'm like, okay, so you wanna buy for who? Okay. And then you also want to do what? Where am I? Okay, you want a granita. Okay, sure. Here, put it on your hand. Let's go to the shops. And then we'll go to the shops. And they walk in and they see everything. I'm like, look how much it is. How much do you have in your hand? Because when this money is finished, you have no more money. So you have to make do with what you have. Work out, look at other things, look at the sale clearance box, don't keep wanting to buy the top range of everything. You're a kid, you don't have money. This is what you have. So that's where the lesson started. So now, yes, my girls love to shop. Go see yummy. And my husband looks at me and is like, but I'm like, now your money is all yours. You see another cute top at Cotton On or Factory or whatever, or you go to picnic and thrift, and next thing you're coming back with bags full of stuff. I'm like, that's not gonna happen anymore. You need to be conscious. So no, okay, food, well, I mean, there'll be a dress, so they'll be fed a dress, but going out, don't be going out all the time. Go out, plan, say maybe once every 2 weeks, or if you're gonna go out once a week, that's okay. Eat or on the weekend, eat at rest first, and then go out. And you know that you don't have to spend too much money eating. But then I'm also talking to foodie kids, and but we are braving it. That's I think that was a question, was it not? No, anyway, it was me telling you about eating healthy. So buy your own vegetables and cook them at home. It costs you less. Guys, you can spend all your time wanting to be seen out there. Now, it's easy for me to say this. I'm a married woman for a very long time. I can sit at home. My life is perfect the way it is. I don't need to be out there. You might be a single person and you're like, but I have to go out. How else do I meet people? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying try and eat at home as much as possible. Home cooked meals are proven to be healthy and it costs you less. Ayikho imali, okay? And then I'm gonna add bird's eye chili to my curry. But only one, just in jail for, you know. My kids can handle it, don't worry. But I'm not gonna chop it, because if I chop it, then yafiwa. But I'm just gonna put it as it is, just to slowly release the flavors. And then I will start to now add my herbs. So let's start with some bay leaves. I do always use the bay leaf itself, but these I got from Pindi to try. Nice. Vegan friendly, non-irradiated, hazile herbs. Organic, hydroponically grown, yes. Hydroponics. Okay, and then I'm gonna add coriander leaves. I usually add these and then add fresh coriander before I serve. So remember, herbs, you always add them at the end of the cook. Otherwise, you kill all the things that they have to give you. And then some parsley, because I just love parsley. I add parsley to everything. I mean, like everything has dried parsley. And then let me stir that in, and I'll show you what it looks like now. And remember that the texture of the meat is completely up to you. If you want it extra soft, you cook it for much longer. If you want it just crunchy, that's up to you. But for me, I'll cook this for about an hour and a bit, which you've already seen now. And I shall be serving soon. I do like black pepper, so I always add black pepper to everything. So parsley and black pepper are literally my staples. Now, some people argue it's a curry. Do you have to add all? Yeah, me. That's how I cook it. So that's a tiny bit of black, not tiny, but a bit of black pepper. And it's got antioxidants. Huh? That's why I don't age like a vampire. Okay, so let me show you what it looks like. Then I'm just gonna make my broccoli, and that's it. Can you see that? Yeah? Oh my gosh, I wish you could see it. I wish you could smell it. That is so beautiful. So I'll just let it sit and reduce, and the potatoes are, ooh, perfection. In fact, let me show you. Let me show you the potatoes. And your potatoes will depend on size and the time it cooks, because this was quite quick because they're small. So I like that kind of texture. Not too soft, okay? But not hard either. So oh. Oh, that's beautiful. Don't forget to taste your food, okay? We taste our food. Yes? You saw it? It looks good, ne? Thank you. Oh gosh, I can't live without potatoes. I mean, look at the sauce. Can you see it? Like, okay, wait. Actually, let's do this right. I wanna burn my cute little hands. Let me show you a little more of the texture. You see that? That's just perfect. Check that. So it's up to you. You could let it reduce some more. If you want it to be, oh, that is so good. Then I'll dip this potato in there for good measure. Cheers. Oh, that's good. So yeah, it's up to you to. This is quite. It is nicely balanced and salted because I did put the stock. But if when you're cooking, taste your food. Like, taste your food. And this question, am I doing any mentorship programs yet? It's the reason why I stopped doing these things. You are here on a mentorship program, you're asking me about mentorship programs. Anyway, you bantu be internet are so exhausting. Suka. I've written books. I have written on Vasily Sage. There's nothing I haven't done. I don't know what else you guys want. People want to sit and stare into my eyes one-on-one, and then they call that mentorship. Suka, leave me alone. I need a pot whilst you cool down. Oh, actually, I'll take it right here. I do get a lot of requests for one-on-one mentorship. I'm like, really? Really? Like, really? Oh. Okay, I'm just gonna put just a little bit of water, like very little. Yeah, to people, mentorship is not mentorship until they're sitting and staring into my beautiful eyes. I don't want to stare into yours. Leave me alone, I have a life. Leave me alone. Okay, so with my broccoli, what I do is add, so I use this olive oil. Food is almost ready, okay? Yeah, and this one is for grilled meats, fish, and roast vegetables. Okay, so I'll just add this. Exactly. Get ready with me videos. Oh, actually, earlier I was saying something about travel. Vlog. Show us your trip. You? Guys. First of all, the other part of you guys that misses that I'm a private person. I live my life completely private, even though I am a public person and I share things publicly. But food is almost ready, babe. Yeah, my family is now hungry, so but it's ready. Just 5 minutes for the broccoli. Yeah, so mentorship is what you are already getting. So please, man, leave me alone. Exactly. Outfit of the day, my wellness routine. By the way, these are some of the things that are most Googled on Instagram. I don't know if that's the right way of saying it, but it's Amanda Dambuza's wellness routine, Amanda Dambuza's skincare routine. Hi, Ibo, you're not gonna get that. I'll tell you about the things I do, like I did now. Clarence, every now and then we're running campaigns with Clarence. I'll show you that because that is actually what I do. But you know, when you see me, manje sefanga nginibonise ngigqoka lapha ispanks sami, then nginibonise outfit. Hi guys. And I don't depend on you in that manner. With or without you seeing more of me, my life carries on. It's an honor and a privilege to share my lessons with people, but this life that you all live, and most of these people, and then you look at them and say, you think that your life is not progressive. It's because you're benchmarking yourself against people who are not even telling the truth. So, but I don't want to sound like I'm preaching. A little pink salt. So with the broccoli, before I serve it, when it's cooled down, then I sprinkle some lemon, fresh lemon. So squeeze lemon. Doesn't matter even if you use a bottle, one of those bottle things. But don't do it whilst you're cooking. It turns brown. Okay. So do it just before and let it boil for like literally 5 minutes. And then, yeah, then you can serve. Okay, let me see what. Okay, 2 questions, then I'm done. Let's see. Okay. Okay, there's another question from Kia. It's okay, Kia. You are taking full advantage of this moment, and I like it. I like it. It's for people like you that I do this. Okay, but let me start with this one, okay? As a woman, mid-30s in corporate, what are your thoughts, advice on shifting focus to family, meeting a good person? It's hard, hey? As a woman in your mid-30s in corporate, what are your thoughts on shifting focus to family? Okay, so I've written an article on this on LinkedIn. In fact, I've written multiple articles on LinkedIn. I have also written a lot of articles and answering questions, mentorship on varstlysage.com. On the left-hand side, it says Ask Amanda. There's like 26 pages of just me responding to mentorship questions that were submitted last year. You will find the answer there. So pour yourself a nice cup of tea and enjoy. But your question has 2 parts. There's a part about mid-30s in corporate and shifting focus to family. And then there's something about meeting a good person it's hard. I can't help you about meeting a good person. Kiss all them frogs until you get to your prince. It's not my job to help you with that. I'm just happy I don't ever have to do that. Well, ever, yes. That is it. 20 years later, I would not be able to. So mid-30s, in fact, the time that you find that in the tension between career and family, because a lot of people are starting families around that time or seeking to. Again, it's all up to you what you want to do. But if you don't have a good person in your life, don't start a family. That's my advice. All the best. Last one, and then I close this. She says, I promise this is my last question. Do you prepare for a new year? Do you set goals? Do you do it alone or with family? Thank you for this session. It's my pleasure. Do I prepare for a new year? No. No. In fact, guys, please go to varstlysage.com and subscribe to our newsletters, because we also send out newsletters. I write a lot and I express myself far better when I'm writing. So I talk about resolutions and things like that there, and why they don't work. And there's plenty coming. I've been creating nonstop. I've got courses that I've created. There's a lot going on the hub, and there's a reason why there's the hub. I've put all my focus into that. Otherwise, I get pulled from pillar to post, left, right, center, upside down. So, I don't prepare for new year in the way that you may think I should or is traditional, because I'm not a traditional person. By now you should know I try to flip every single script. So I usually take January to rest, because December is all about family. January is usually my rest month. Then I start getting active around mid-February, around my birthday, because that week I've got board meetings. So I don't really prepare, I rest. Because think about it, I mean, I don't know what you do in your life, but if you see what I do and you don't even know 90% of what I do, you just see snippets of what I do. But I have huge responsibilities, and I have a lot of demands on me because I have a lot of jobs, and then I have a lot of businesses. I have family, my husband, my kids. I have a lot going on in my life, and by the time the year ends, I am completely depleted. Completely, like there's nothing left. After I host my big November brunch, I literally feel like a truck has run me over. And it doesn't take 2 days to get over that. I have to decompress. And remember, in the year, I also host 2 retreats in May and September. I'm doing the men's brunch, and it's a lot on me. So for me, the beginning of the year is about rest. So the minute the kids go back to school, for me, it's just time to myself. The one thing that so I set goals. I have a lot of opinions about goals, and I've written about them. If you just get on Varsly's page, you'll see. Do I set goals? Yeah, I do and I don't, because I go with the season of my life. I go with the rhythm of my life. And there was a time, so again, this is a life stage conversation I'm giving you. There was a time when I was goal driven. And then you get to a point in life where you've achieved most of your goals, and then it's like, okay, so now you're going to start creating lies and call them thank you for reminding me about the broccoli. Oh, you're trying to redeem yourself, I see. Yeah, it's perfectly cooked now. Ordinarily, I use high heat so that I don't have to drain anything. But you can add cold water to broccoli to stop the cooking process, so that it doesn't get mushy or too overcooked. But this was on a low heat, so it's let me show you, because I'm gonna dish it up now. I'm just gonna let it be. So let me show you that it's not mushy. You see, and perfectly cooked. It was a smaller plate, low heat. That's so good. Yeah, middle-aged people eat broccoli. No, what I mean is, it's a mandatory vegetable for you. Young people eat it every day too, please. So that by the time you get here, it's not mandatory. You've already been having it. Okay, so yeah, I go with the seasons of my life rather than put myself under pressure for goals. But that's because I'm at a different life stage. There are very few goals that I have now. There are very few goals. Maybe I have 1 or 2 or 3. Yeah. So there's a life stage for everything. When you're in your 20s, 30s, you're still building. So building phase requires a lot of goal setting. And then there comes a shift a bit. But even that goal setting, in fact, I just wrote an article now about, it's going to come out on Varsly Sage, about that specific topic around goals and why, and resolutions, New Year resolutions, why people get disappointed and what you can do differently instead of just the year starting, I have new goals. Guys, the difference between the previous year and the new year is literally like a day, okay? You go and live for a week and you think when you're starting a new year, you're a new person. No, it's unrealistic. You are exactly the same person. You ended the year extremely exhausted. You only had a week to rest. If you're lucky, 2 weeks. Did you really rest? A lot of us are makotis. You go to your in-laws, you are busy. You are hosting also, you're busy. Did you really rest that you think when start a new year and you're a new person, new year, new me? No, it's unrealistic to do that. So I talk about, how to help people, enable people to still have a vision for your life and execute on what that is without this additional and unrealistic pressure of setting resolutions that you're never going to meet. Okay, so you will not hear me talk about resolutions because I don't live my life like that. If I want to be more active or have more movement, I start where I am. Doesn't matter if it's November or December or April. In fact, I try and avoid resolutions. I try to avoid starting anything completely new in the new year because then it looks like a resolution. And I'm not that person. So do I have desires? And a lot of the desires I have are around my businesses. I mean, my family life, that's a separate story. But in business, of course, I set goals. I set a budget and say, okay, we ended the year at X in this coming financial year, and I now work in financial year, not calendar year. So our financial year is like June, or different cycles for different companies. So it's not a so we, in business, I can quantify it and say by this end of financial year, you must have done X, Y, Z. But in my life, I go with seasons, I go with rhythm, I go with where I am. Do I do it alone or with my family? My husband and I do a lot of planning together. That's how I'm going to respond to that. And if you are in a relationship and you don't talk about each of your dreams and desires, there's a slight challenge. Again, people's relationships are different. I write about this in Stable but Turbulent. I talk about couples who build together. And I talk a lot about my own. So, in fact, that's probably the most I'm ever going to say about my relationship because it's none of your business. But ultimately, I've been with my husband for 20 years. I want him to realize his dreams. He wants me to realize my dreams. We have joint dreams that we realize together. We have individual dreams because we're individual people within a relationship. I definitely have things that I do alone because they relate to me only out there. But the things that happen in my home that include my family, those are things that are discussed with my husband and my kids. Okay, so bye-bye. Bye-bye. I hope I was helpful. It's time for my family to eat now. I've given you enough time. I don't even know how much time this was, but it has been my pleasure. I wish you all the best until next time. Stay good to yourselves and don't follow trends. Let me tell you, don't follow trends. And this is the beauty of being born in the generation that I was born in, because we have don't tell me what to do, Wena. Don't say take a picture of the plate for Instagram. Don't pay me to take a picture of the plate. But if you ask me nicely, I might just do it. I'm happy that I was born in a generation where we can actually live our lives off screens and not have to explain and showcase and tell everyone. So try it. Live your life as it is and enjoy it. Change what you need to change, but don't go with trends. Don't try to follow what other people are doing. Stay in your lane, because your lane is the lane you are meant to be. Change what you need to change, learn what you need to learn, and please don't put yourself under so much pressure to have already been X by. Life doesn't work like that. Life has its ebbs and flows, and seasons is really what you should be looking out for. If I have to make a reference, which is something I don't really care to do, but there's this girl that's like the It Girl, Tiana Taylor. Because first of all, I think she's such a cutie. But I watched the movie and I realized how many movies she's done, and she's everywhere because that's her season. She's come from nowhere to somewhere. That's what people say. But she's been working, she's been grinding, she's been there. Now forget about the celebrities. Think about your own life. You know, you've been grinding. Time will be kind to you. Keep doing it, keep grinding, keep getting to where you need to. There's too much noise out there, guys, and you are people on social media who are completely obsessed and absolutely caught up in this bubble of people telling you how they make money. They show you a Lamborghini, a Ferrari. Hey, let me teach you how they do it. Guys, those people are in business. They're doing business for themselves, not for you. When it is your reality, you can wake up tomorrow and drive a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. No. Work with your reality. Work with your season. Work with your needs and your desires. Because that might look flashy, but you don't know what these people actually do for money. If you have never paid me and say, Nance, ndiyayazi what you do for money, you don't know what they do for money. Guys, I know I'm of the generation that may not understand a lot of this content creation career, or I mean, what's that guy's name who was here? Andiswa. Okay, she's got headphones on. That guy who does flips, and then the next thing, this guy is making lots of money because he just flipped off a plank. Like, you don't even know how to flip, and you are busy comparing yourself to that person. So forget about, if anything else, all of this stuff is just noise. Yeah, speed. Yeah. I always ask, what does he do? Like, what is his job? And I'm told, no, he's a content creator. And it's hectic, right? Everyone is a content creator. Everyone is a motivational guru. Everyone has something to teach you. It's your life. You choose what you want to take from this noise. Personally, I say, pick the people you follow. When I made the mistake of going into that explorer thing, I'm like, I'm never doing this again. But I like jokes, I like memes, I like to laugh. If you've ever seen my stories, you know, if the only thing I ever did on Instagram was just watch memes and share them, I'd be so happy. But yeah, I know there's also the responsibility that comes with this. Yeah, fitness experts, let me show you how. Everyone is an expert on something, and everyone is rich, yeah, and they have made money from and they're like, let me show you how, and you go and pay $5 for a course on how to. Really, guys? I suka. But that's okay if that's what you choose. I'm just saying, the pressure you put yourself under is self-inflicted. And what it does to you, though, is what you are underestimating, is that subtle erosion of your self-worth, that subtle erosion of your sense of self, who you are. Who you are is, we don't have the same starting points. It's circumstance-based, and it is alignment to what you have been called for on this earth. I'm not saying don't dream about financial success. I'm not saying don't watch the people that inspire you. I'm just saying the problem is, then you keep, as in, every smoke, you are inhaling it until your lungs are so filled with black mass that you go around inhaling all this rubbish and noise and rubbish energy. People wake up, they put their faces in ice, and then bad gym, and then they're running, and then they're doing manicures. And then kuthiwa bangama multi-millionaire or millionaires. In this entire, what do you do? Like, what's the job? Is the job to show people that when you wake up and then you dress up and then you, I don't know. It's possible I don't understand it because I don't come from this generation, this world. To me, it's so, like, what is this? It's what is this, guys? Man. No, I need to dish up for my family. Oh no, they dish up for themselves. So I need to get off this thing so that we can eat. But please remember what I've said. You guys, too much noise in your lives. Too much noise. Imagine if I sit here and I show you the things I'm doing. Okay, I've now opened the fridge. Look at my fridge. Okay, now I want to show you the cottage cheese. Oh, this is what cottage cheese does. And that's my job. And I'm like, let me send you or click here. Guys, they're making money through you. When you already have everything you need. You already have everything it takes. You just need a little discipline here, a little inspiration here, a little push here. But you know what I think you need? Stay in your lane. Focus. What do you need to trust your own gut, your own instinct, without the noise? Trust. And then go and say, okay, if my aim is to get to X, who on these streets has been able to get to X in a manner that I believe aligns with me and the things that I do? So I'm not saying don't follow people. I'm just saying choose who you are following. And a lot of what is on these streets, these Instagram streets, is rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. And I can tell you, millionaires, real multi-millionaires, billionaires, don't freaking do what these people are doing. Now I can take that with a pinch of salt. People with money are extremely private. With real money, talking about real money, they don't do the stuff that they're doing. So choose who you're following. And I could be wrong. I could be really wrong. But this is the lens through which I'm looking. And there are many people. The other reason I don't do these one-on-one mentorships, you sit there and you listen to a person and I'm like, this is a waste of my time, because you are busy. You are everything. And then you are measuring yourself against that. And now I must sit here and try and do what exactly? You guys, you make this mentorship thing seem like the silver bullet to your issues. You create your own issues by being everywhere. Half the time, I don't know what's happening around the world. I don't know what's happening. I don't know who's doing what until somebody tells me. And then I'm like, how is this information valuable for me? How does it change my life? My life is not going to be changed by all this noise. My life is going to be changed by me understanding what is it that I am, what season am I at, what am I looking for next, and how do I get there? And how I get there is not watching somebody tell me how it's done. And you know which ones I'm talking about. But you can listen to me now, and this works. This works because you know I'm Funmalian. You know I don't want your money. So, but even then, choose what you take from what I'm saying. Yes? And I spend my time living my life. I don't have this. I dance, but I don't have to keep showing you that I dance. I did that at some point to encourage you to understand that you can be a successful woman, a mom, a wife, a board member. You can be whatever you want to be and still live a life that is full and still enjoy yourself. That was always the aim. It's not, oh, let me entertain you. No, it was to teach you something because we come from generations of women who are so stiff, who are like, no, you don't do that. I mean, I've had people say, oh my gosh, you actually dance? Like, and I'm like, yeah. And look how happy I am. Look how miserable you are in your stiff Chanel suit. But you are miserable because you're trying to fit in a box that you don't belong in. But that's okay. I respect that. You do you, I do me, boo. All right, guys. There's a lot to say. Maybe I'll save it for another time. But all the best and thank you for tuning in. I will post a little picture on my stories, maybe. Maybe. And then I'm gonna download this. If I'm able to post it, if I'm able to download it, I'll post it to our YouTube channel. Because I apologize, that's been dead for a while. But we're getting there. We're getting there. We've been creating, so you're gonna see a big difference. So thank you for your patience on that. Thank you very much. I wish you a fantastic week ahead. All those sending their children to university, please go with them to support them. Don't just, please, man. We've been crowned the best parents. Tina, Generation Xers. We are the models of parenting now. So please support your children and look after yourselves. Most importantly, silence the noise. Okay, silence the noise. And you don't have to showcase your success. You don't have to show everyone that you got it. A lot of us come. I put this in the book again. Stable but turbulent. All my books are at amandadambuza.com, guys. Put it in there that sometimes we have this need to always showcase that we're successful because we come from a place where people doubted us or told us we'll be nothing. Yeah, great. But doesn't help you grow to keep showcasing. Oh, I've eaten healthy breakfast now. Let me take a picture and send it to you. Oh, Lord. Oh, I'm going on vacation now. Let me show it to you. I used to share my vacations because I was trying to tell that young girl in a shack somewhere going through difficulties that you can also get here if you just keep focusing on the right things. But there's always a fine line between that and now, okay, what hotel did you stay in? Okay, we saw you flew this and that. Hey, guys, no, let's just live our lives. At the end of the day, none of this matters. None of it matters at all. What matters is your life, your family, the people that choose you, the people that you choose. Those are the people that are going to remember you. They are ones that you have the most impact on. When I'm gone, Nina, there'll be another. My family will be the most affected. So if I'm busy taking time away from them to showcase to you how successful I am, my marriage, my this, my that, even with friendships. I said this before, I'm like, this thing of us fronting friendships, yeah, I think we've all done it at some point, but the problem is, must say pay friendship. So far, I'm going to explain it like a man. Just I owe you. Court, okay, but what happened now? So keep the private things private. Share what you need to share, that's up to you. But stay focused. Stay focused. None of these things matter. They don't matter. I can assure you. All the best. Bye-bye. Okay, wait. I need to end it. Forgot how to end it.